boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And if you hadn't heard, Marvel shocked the world yesterday by revealing that the new King of Wakanda, yes, the new Black Panther himself, ladies and gentlemen, was nothing more than a white boy. Yes, T'Challa's son has now taken over the crown and the kingdom from him, and the whole act of making Black Panther white has caused the internet to absolutely lose their minds and melt down. And ladies and gentlemen, it's exactly as you should have suspected. The exact same people that had no problem race swapping and gender swapping every other character out there in the world, especially if they were white, now all of a sudden as a huge issue when all of a sudden T'Challa had a white son and now he's King of Wakanda. So if you hadn't heard about this, here's the little image that has caused the world to melt down, because this was T'Challa's son declaring that Wakanda is mine after defeating his father in some slightly shady combat. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, the usual suspects are having a meltdown, and the best part is some of the articles out there are actually giving us a little bit of both sides, and it's hilarious to see because Marvel fans erupt after new Black Panther is revealed as white, says the Daily Mail. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is absolutely hilarious. So we're going to check out these articles. We're going to go over all the fan reactions and check out the ones we agree and, of course, disagree with as well, and laugh and ridicule all of the fools and the insane folks having absolute meltdowns over all of this stuff on the internet. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,000 subscribers. And I could not have done that without every single one of you. So help us sail all the way to 2,100 by smashing that little button down below. Also, let us know what you think about this on the comment section down below. Does it surprise you at all that people out there on the internet who would normally root for a race swapper, of course, having an absolute meltdown over this kind of thing? Does you actually enjoy the fact that the shoe is now on the other foot and they're having an absolute washer of their minds? Or are you one of those people out there that completely and totally disagree with this and you cannot believe that Marvel actually went through with making the new Black Panther white? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out the link in the description down below and become a member for $5 or less a month. We certainly would appreciate that. All right, boys and girls, so let's just run over the Daily Mail here real quick. Marvel fans are in an uproar after a debut of a controversial new storyline that reimages Black Panther's legacy. With a shocking twist, the latest appears to be white. The premiere issue of Marvel Knights, The World to Come, dropped Wednesday and introduced a new character named Kedema, whom T'Challa, prince of the fictional African kingdom Wakanda and the original Black Panther, refers to as his son, according to Bleeding Cool. And if you've looked at the panels, if you watched the video that I guess at the time of this video's recording or releasing 2 hours ago, if you saw that one, you already saw the panels. We went over the scenes of where this actually happened, how the fight ended, all of that kind of stuff. Like, it's out there. We have seen this stuff. It is legit. The comic reveals that T'Challa fathered Kadama to his early love interest. The problem with that is Monica Lynn is very much a dark-skinned character, so it's got to be somebody else as the mother. So Daily Mail, probably not a great idea to get all of your facts and information from Daily Cool, just putting it out there. But needless to say, after defeating T'Challa in battle, Kadama removes his mask only to reveal blonde hair, blue eyes, and a distinctly Caucasian features. And these are some of our reactions. Mask Meme over here says, what if Ryan Gosling is coming into the Marvel to play the Black Panther after all? In a new comic, all the new Black Panther is a white dude. And I mean, it's literally the meme brought to life. And it is absolutely so hilarious. It is so funny. And I'm loving every single second of this. Here's another one. Immortal Thor Lair. Bro, what the? First appearance of Kadama, a Caucasian, son of T'Challa. A story by Christopher Priest, art by John Quesada. Black Panther having a white son would be ridiculous. Why? Do you disagree with mixed race families? Do you not think the races should like intermingle and like have children amongst each other? I mean, like if you've ever seen like mixed race families, sometimes them kids do come out pretty light. It would not be surprising at all. But here's, like I said, these are the same people that would have been perfectly okay with all the rest of the race swaps and gender swaps and everything else that have happened over the years. So yeah, life is a horror movie in 2025. Eddie Mon, ain't no way Black Panther has a white Aryan son who just became the leader of Wakanda. I mean, these things do happen. He's just like, but he's like dead. He's like, I can't believe they just did this. I can't believe they did it. I guess he looks a little like Ryan Gosling. Exactly. There we go. We went over that one, the meme one. Let's stop letting these non-black people touch Black Panther. They do silly stuff like this, says the Black Hand of Truth. Immortal Thor lawyer points out, the writer is black, which is the best part. These people are assuming, based on their own presumptions, some racist stuff, and it just gets pointed out as that, guess what? The guy that's writing it's actually black. So, if there would be any writer who would try to give Black Panther mantle to a white person, of course it would be Christopher Priest, the man whose job it is to shove white characters into Wakanda's mythos. LOL. Aw, you poor babies. But it gets better. Shout out to news.me, www, I don't know. Marvel's bold new twist with white Black Panther has fans up in arms. This has to be the worst idea. I think it's glorious. I am loving every second of it. I mean, when I recorded that video that you guys, if you haven't checked out, make sure you go check out. It's the last video I just put out before this one. Like, literally go check it out. I laughed. My face was hurting. Like, my cheeks were hurting. I was laughing so much from them doing this. It was just so hilarious. I could not believe it that somebody inside of Marvel actually had the brass balls, the cojones, to do something like this. And now, given he will probably end up being the villain, right? Because T'Challa's the hero, it's Black Panther, right? You know, there's things about like priests influencing him, and like so there's probably like some cult tactics going on that maybe have brainwashed his son and stuff like that. So it's probably going to end up being one of those situations. I'm sure T'Challa will come back and reclaim his throne and all of that kind of stuff. And it was kind of a crappy kind of way they did it. And they even expressed it in the comics that Katama couldn't actually have beaten him in a fair fight to begin with, right? Black Panther was just trying to be nice to him, and his son took it the wrong way, and so he attacked him really hard. So it's one of them situations. He'll probably end up being the bad guy. I hope they end up having a reconciliation. I hope it ends up being a really good father-son redemption story. I think that would be a beautiful thing to see. And you know what? As a guy that's from a mixed race family, I don't give two craps if you have an issue with T'Challa having a white kid. Who's the racist now? But I love all of this down here. These are some great ones. Marvel shocks again. New Black Panther is white. Marvel fans losing at the debut of Marvel Knights: The World to Come introduced Kedema, T'Challa's son, as the new Black Panther. The twist: blonde hair, blue eyes, and fans aren't having it. Oh my gosh, this is just wonderful. I love this one. Confused set of regions. Black Panther is now your White Panther, a shy country. Yeah, because that's what it was too. Like if you read the comic, which I highly recommend, just for the lulz alone, like go support your local comic book shop, right? Because I know people think like you go buy that Marvel comic book, like you're supporting Marvel. Technically, you're kind of right? But the way the ordering system works for your local comic book shop and stuff like that is they're going to get forced to take these issues, whether they want them or not, whether they sell or not, they're going to end up with them. So just for the lulz, go out there and buy this comic go support your local comic book shop and buy this one, because I'd imagine you're probably going to laugh just as hard as we have going through all this stuff while you read this and see it. Because he literally does. After he defeats his dad, all the elders are sitting there watching this, obviously, because it's one of those fights. He pulls off his helmet, and the elders are like, oh my God. So apparently T'Challa didn't tell them either that he had a white son, that he had a mixed race son. Like, it's kind of wild to think about it. A disappointed fan said, sadly, Marvel already chose him another role and not Black Panther. And this is Josh from Den of Nerds. Wait, Marvel Comics is giving T'Challa a white son? Are they really going to do Ryan Gosling as Black Panther? I mean, I literally put that on the thumbnail for the last one. They made the meme real. Like, we've all joked about this a million times with them race swapping every character. Like, I mean, of course, like with Wakanda and everything else, and it's just been so funny. It's just, I mean, freaking art. It's like Namor, who in the comics has an Irish dad, right? And we get a Hispanic, South American, like Mexican version. Like, yeah, no, this is totally good. This is totally good. And of course, one individual, Black Panther is white. Marvel actually did the unthinkable, and it's insane, says Yellow Flash. This is Clea says, whomever in that comic section thinks this is okay is dense as F. Black Panther can and should never be a white man or woman. And guess what, Clea? I completely agree with you. But where were you when they race swapped and gender swapped all of these other characters? Where were you when they used the later version of Captain Marvel and not the original version? Where were you when they did all of these other things and did all of these other things to all of these other characters, right? Where were you for any of that? You had no problem with them doing any of that kind of stuff as long as it was a white character that it was getting it done to. As long as it was a redhead that was getting erased, you didn't care. But now all of a sudden, when the shoe's on the other foot, I mean, where's all this diversity, inclusion, and equity? Right? I guess the tolerance really is only a one-way street because it sure sucks when it's on the other foot. Now, isn't it, Clea? Someone saw the white Black Panther drawing debate and must have thought, why not? Why not? There's another one. Wait, how? I mean, well, you got to understand, sometimes when a man likes a woman, their skin tone doesn't matter and they make babies. I know. Strange concept. It's wild. Or he could have been adopted, right? Who knows? The way it's kind of described in the book, you can kind of make it to where you kind of think, maybe he says, you've known that it's been something you've done since you walk. He's like, T'Challa says, I gave you life, right? So you're assuming, like most people just automatically assume that's his son, but I guess you could theoretically kind of argue like a Moses situation, right? Where he saves him as a baby and brings him up and raises him and saves him from some horrible kind of thing that was going on. I guess that's a possibility too. But at the end of the day, it looks like it's his kid. He says it's his kid. He claims it as his son. So as far as I'm concerned, it's his kid. And I love it. I love it. And Steve points out a very obvious thing. I'm sure they will make him the villain. We don't have any doubt about that whatsoever. I mean, come on. It's Marvel Comics, right? They can't make him a good guy. But check this one out from X-Ray over here. They made Black Panther white? This fool dead-ass killed T'Challa, a black man. Okay, first off, you didn't read the comic, which to be fair, neither have I. But I at least read the comic panels provided for me in the articles covering this situation. And guess what? T'Challa didn't die. He defeated him with like 3 really knocked out punches. But T'Challa is very much still alive at the end of that fight. So, yeah, there you go. That just tells you what a point of ignorance this guy is coming from. And now rules Wakanda, the most powerful black country, and black ran country. I'm dead. Oh, you poor baby. Here's another one. This has to be the worst idea for Black Panther since Casper Cole. Come on, everyone. This one I love. Check this out from Josh. Come on, everyone. We need to be more inclusive. It's nice for the white boys who look up to Black Panther as a hero to finally see themselves as him. He wears a mask anyway, so what's the harm? Exactly. Throw it right back in their faces, because this is the argument that we've heard a million times when they introduced a black elf into Lord of the Rings, right? They were like, oh, representation, it's so finally good to see myself as an elf on screen. I have to be able to see, there has to be a black elf in order for me to relate. Well, I mean, if Black Panther's not white, how else are all the white boys supposed to relate to him as a hero and see themselves in him? Now, fortunately enough, all the white boys can see themselves in Black Panther as well. And isn't that just a beautiful thing? Isn't that what you always bragged that you were just simply doing? A little bit of representation? What's so wrong with that? Oh, that's right. You're all a bunch of blithering hypocrites, and of course, tolerance is only a one-way street. And this Joe, how can Black Panther be white? Am I missing something here? Well, like I said, when a man and a woman love each other, sometimes these things do happen. But needless to say, boys and girls, we knew this is exactly what was going to happen when they announced this. We knew this is exactly what was going to end up happening. All of the people that out there that champion all of the race swapping and all of the gender swapping and everything else this entire time, we're going to, no, they were not going to tolerate this. They were not going to put up with this. They were going to have an absolute meltdown. And the worst part is there's actually no reason for them to have a meltdown, right? Because we know what's going to happen. This is a Marvel comic. He's a white dude taking a mantle from a black guy. He's going to end up being the villain. T'Challa's going to end up coming back and defeating him by the end of this series. And like I said, the only thing I hope for is that they have a nice father-son, bonding experience, and they're able to rekindle their relationship, and they're able to fix everything that's going on in between them. But considering how much current modern Marvel hates positive father-son relationships and, of course, positive family dynamics, T'Challa will probably end up murdering his own kid because that's how things go in the modern era. But needless to say, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, let's just enjoy the win for a little while because the shoe is officially on the other foot. Marvel Comics has done this. Their editors signed off on this idea. Their execs gave this the green light, and everybody in the story room was like, yeah, this is going to be fun. They had to know what they were going to do. And you know what? They have done exactly that. They have got everybody talking about a Marvel comic again, right, which is something that has not happened in a long time. They're going to end up making him the villain so they can save face with all of their alphabet soup mafia nonsense, BIPOC, whatever, two-spirit folks out there on the internet. The people that don't actually buy Marvel Comics or buy tickets to the movies, right? And this is just going to end up causing everybody to talk about it. But the best part is, laugh and enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen, because the devil got mocked today. And the one thing the devil hates the most is to be mocked. And all of these little cultists out there, all of these little people possessed by the spirit of the age, simply are having their minds explode at the idea of a gender swap and not even an actual race swap. It's not like they made the character T'Challa white. They just passed the mantle of Black Panther down to a white guy, just like Marvel passed the mantle of Captain America down to a black guy. Where was all of your complaints when they did that to Steve Rogers and Captain America? This is literally no different. The only difference is, as usual, it's okay to do it to white characters, but not to anybody else. Because, of course, good old Whitey's the problem. He's the enemy, and that's the devil. But at the end of the day, boys and girls, the people who truly worship the devil are having an absolute meltdown over the fact that they made Black Panther white. The meme is real. It's absolutely hilarious. And guess what? It's exactly what they deserve. Relish in the tears of all of the wokies, boys and girls, and enjoy the meltdowns. It's a beautiful win for all of us.